Hello, everybody, and welcome to CCCLXVI, the podcast where we talk about movies and stuff. So you may have noticed a change in the intro right there, and that is because we are actually going to be changing the way the podcast is going a little bit. So instead of reviewing movies, we are going to just be talking about, not about specific movies, but movies in general. Get what I'm saying, Benji? Yeah. Like, this week our topic's going to be about remakes, and sometimes it won't be as specific as that. Sometimes we're just going to be talking about movies in general, and sometimes we won't even be talking about movies, which is the whatever and stuff. I think I might have added on to... Oh, whatever. I'm going to say whatever and stuff in the intro if I end up talking about not movies. So, this week we're going to be talking about remakes. Yay. Do you want... So basically, you start by talking about what is your opinion on remakes?
Well, remakes can be used in good ways and bad ways. Like, if you remake a good movie, then your remake will most likely be bad. But if you remake a movie and change a whole lot of things, kind of like in Seven Samurai and the Magnificent Seven changed the ending almost entirely, and it also made it into a Western. If you do that, I think that's okay. And if you remake just like a regular movie and you try to do the same things, or if you change things that are bad, and you change things for the worse, kind of like in
The New Annie?
The New Annie, yeah.
This one is just an example.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, basically, the best type of remakes are remakes that change a lot. Well, actually, the best type of remakes take a movie that had, like, a really good part in it, and then basically just improve the rest of it. Like a movie with a really great concept, but not with very good execution or something. You know what I'm saying right there, Benji?
Yep.
Like, that movie with, whatever. You know I'm talking about? Like the movie with the time in your wrist, or whatever?
Yeah, with life.
With a time in your wrist, and that was measured by your life and stuff. Like, that movie had a really great concept. It had Cillian Murphy and I think Justin Timberlake and stuff in it. You, like, paid for stuff with your time on your wrist, remember? And then, like, his wife was coming to him, and she only had, like, a couple seconds left, and then she died. Do you remember that?
Oh, he's like crying on the street. He's a really bad crier.
Yeah. It wasn't very well done, but it had a really good concept. So I think if they were to remake a film like that, that would be good. You know, remake a film that's not very good, but had really good things going for it. Such a film like that would be a nice remake. Or, as you talked about, Seven Samurai and Magnificent Seven. Seven Samurai is fantastic, by the way, and I don't think that Magnificent Seven is any better than it. But it's a good example of maybe how to do a remake, because what they did is they changed a lot. They changed the ending a lot, and they also changed the whole premise of it. Seven Samurai is about a bunch of samurais in medieval Japan. Yeah, and there's a bunch of samurais in medieval Japan, and Magnificent Seven's about a bunch of cowboys in the Old West, which is a really big difference, but there's actually a lot of similarities. So I think that is a really good way to do a remake, is to change a lot and just have maybe the story or something the same, because whenever you change something, it's good. If you be the same, then it's not as good. But sometimes being the same can be good. I don't know. Remakes are a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
A very interesting thing. I mean, some remakes are good, some remakes are bad, and some remakes are awful. I mean, for an example of the remakes that's awful is the New Annie that I talked about. I mean, that New Annie is bad, man. The old Annie was really good because of the characters. You know, you got Miss Hannigan, Rooster, Punjab. Rooster. Yeah. He's great. You know, he's a really, really great characters. All those characters are great. They removed two of those characters and changed one to where it's so bad in the new one.
Well, really, they more combined two of the characters. They
combined Rooster and Punjab,
which
you can't combine. That's like
you can't combine.
That's like if you were to remake Star Wars and then combine Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, right? That doesn't work. Or combine Luke Skywalker and C-3PO. That doesn't work. No, I mean, I think Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader is a pretty good one. Right?
Yeah. But that's a bad guy and a good guy.
Yeah, that's what it was. Rooster and Punjab. One's a bad guy, one's a good guy. They combined a bad guy and a good guy into the same character. You can't do that.
That's terrible.
Also, I mean, what else is terrible is the singing in the new movie. It sounds like robots. It sounds like... I mean, the robot in 2001 does a better job of singing than this. And he is dying.
He's dying. He's like... what's the name of the song?
I'm not going to... Daisy. Daisy. He sounds like that. But, I mean, that actually has...
Sandy.
Oh, man.
Oh, that totally should be something. Instead of Daisy, Sandy, about his house singing it. You know?
Man, he's not good, man. It's just... it's not good. I don't like it. And that's an example of how to do a remake wrong. But the thing is that, like, Annie changes a lot, you know? It changes it from the 1930s to the present era, which is a bad change, you know? Annie really works because it's in the 1930s, you know? It allows for a
Mrs.
very...
Hannigan actually works.
Well, I mean, Miss Hannigan works a lot better in that. But, I mean, the 1930s works a lot better because you got a period piece, which is pretty cool, you know? I mean, that Let's Go to the Movies thing is really good. But they change it to where they're going to a movie premiere and stuff, and it's bad, man. It's bad, man. I don't like it.
Neither do I.
I mean, did anybody like the new Annie movie? I mean, I'm sure somebody did. I mean...
Did Django like it?
No, I'm pretty sure he didn't like it.
Why did
I mean, they got Django in it. I mean, Benji, there's a reason that it's called money. I mean, Benji, if you were to be paid $100,000 or something, I don't know how much it was paid, probably in the millions, for being in a movie... Or you got to pretend to be a billionaire. Would you do it?
Totally. I mean, I'd be a billionaire because they were paying me $1 billion. Only for $1 billion, though.
Only for $1 billion, dude. I'd do that for 10. I mean, maybe not. I mean, lots of people choose to be in these bad movies, and then their careers die. I mean, look at Jake Lloyd. You know, he was in Star Wars, and then his career died. The guy who plays Annie.
What?
Not actually Anakin in Star Wars. I can totally see why you got confused right there.
Because you just so the guy who plays Annie,
his name is Annie. Yeah, okay, that was weird.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but I mean, so that's an example of how making changes isn't always good. I don't know, and I want to like it because it made changes, but just the changes were bad and the movie was awful, so I can't like it. So sorry. So yeah, that's Annie. It's not good, man. I mean, we basically got right back into reviewing movies again, just talking about Annie. But I mean, we don't really have too much of a script for these. I mean, we do have some remakes that we actually watched before doing this podcast.
I'll write one.
What?
I'm writing a script right now.
Okay, you can stop.
I'm writing a script.
No, you can stop. Stop writing the script. I want to write the script now.
We'll both write one. I'll write my script, you write yours.
No, okay.
You write what you say.
So we watched some of these, and so some of the other ones are Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which we actually saw in theaters really recently, or we actually got to see in theaters because it was back in theaters for a couple days, which was really cool. I mean, there's some really nice visuals in that, which, I mean, really, I mean, that's what I think was probably what sometimes people redo movies is because the visuals, you know, I mean, there's been lots of improvement in visual effects in the recent years, you know, with computers. That has really allowed you to do a lot of cool things in movies. I mean, in the new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory compared to the old one, is that the visuals in the new one are a lot more...
But it's a lot better in
done.
But it's a lot better in the old one, because you're like, the people actually saw that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the visuals in the old one I like better, but the visuals in the new one are better done. You know, I'm not a big fan of Tim Burton's visual style. I mean, my favorite Tim Burton film is Big Fish. And that does sort of have a style, but I really like it because of the whole plot and stuff, and also Steve Buscemi, and I really like Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi's cool. But I don't really like his art style very much. I just don't like it very much, but it's always very well done. So, I mean, I don't have anything against you, this really is just a matter of opinion. And so I like the old one more, but this one is well done. And so I see why you might want to remake that, you know? I mean, it does look a little dated in some areas. I mean, that river of chocolate, it doesn't really look like chocolate, you know? It looks more like diarrhea water. I mean, it looks more like that than chocolate. Not really, but a little bit. It doesn't really look that appetizing. I mean, but the river in the new one looks like chocolate.
Is that what chocolate looks like? Because if it is, like... Count me out. No more chocolate.
You count me out.
You can count me out.
Yeah, that's from which is
there's 100
an
billion
interesting
people
thing.
In the world.
There's 100 billion people in the world, which is an interesting because you know they had a musical and they decided to not to remake it into a musical, other than the Oompa Loompas, which is a little bit weird. But that doesn't matter.
But the producers, they did like the opposite.
And the producers, they did the opposite. They remade the producers and they took a non-musical and made it into a musical. Also, the originals had Gene Wilder in them, which is fantastic in both of those films. And also, in both of them, the remake was released in 2005. Yeah, that's a little bit weird. What, Benji?
We're talking about movies again. This is supposed to be a movie where we talk about stuff.
But we're talking about remakes, And we're not reviewing movies, we're just talking about movies. We're not reviewing movies, that's what it sounds like. We're not reviewing movies, we're just talking about movies.
I love movies.
But what we're talking about... Oh, yeah, so, The Producers is also a remake that we like. And so what The Producers does is it also has a much bigger budget. And it also makes it into a musical, which I think is interesting, is sort of a change of genres. That's what they did with Seven Samurai, is whenever you're remaking a film, you could also try changing the genre up a little bit. Instead of making it a comedy, you can make it a musical comedy, which is not that much different, but... there's also a song in the original Producers.
Oh, yeah, springtime for Hitler. Be a smarty, come and join the Nazi party.
Don't be stupid, be a smarty, come and join the Nazi party. Which, is really why, when you see the original Producers so good, is that it was released 20 years after World War II. People who fought and died in that war, well, not the people who died in that war are still alive, because they died. But, the people who fought and had people die beside them in that war were still alive. And Mel Brooks came along and was like, hey guys, want to make a movie about Hitler?
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, it's not going to be good. And I was like, I don't care. Let's do it anyways. And they did it.
Ethan, I forgot. And the new Producers, do they have the don't be stupid, be a smarty, come and join the Nazi party?
I think they still have that line.
I think they still have that line, because that's
the new Producers
really good line.
Wasn't as good, but I like the new Producers, which I think a lot of people did not like it as much as the old one, and I did not like it as much as the old one.
Yeah, but I still liked it.
It wasn't insulting to the old one. You know what I mean?
Like the Annie.
Like Annie, I felt sort of insulted by that.
They weren't robot singers.
They weren't robots. That's right.
Except for those one guys in the office. Unhappy. Remember those guys, Ethan? Unhappy. Yeah, that was funny. But yes, Gene Wilder is just so fantastic in the old one, and I love Matthew Broderick, but he's just not as good in this one. I really feel like Matthew Broderick is better as Ferris Bueller. He's better at being a sick, cool, swag. He's
better at being a cool person than being like a person like Gene Wilder, who's, basically, I think that Gene Wilder's best two roles here are in Willy Wonka and The Producers. Maybe a little bit in See No Evil, Hear No Evil, but, that's not as much as a role, just he's super funny in that. But in these two films, and he's also really funny in The Producers. He actually was nominated for an Oscar for that, but I think in both of these, he's a little bit weird, you know what I'm saying, Benji?
Oh, yeah, I totally know what you're saying.
The old Willy Wonka, not but the one in the old movie, he had such a fascinating character, which I think is interesting, is, maybe shifting the focus of the character if you're remaking a movie, shifting the focus. They tried to focus on Willy Wonka, which I think was the right move. It's just, they should have focused on Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka, not on Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka, because Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka was bad. It was not good. But Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka was really good. That's what you can do, is you can make it just, better. Or you can focus, or change the focus, not focus the change, because that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, yeah, so what are we going to talk about now?
So, I don't know, I like the new Producers. What I really think the best thing you can do in a remake is make it not insulting to the original.
Yeah, just like the new Producers.
Which I think, we're probably going to bring up Ghostbusters, because that's a remake that's coming out pretty soon, I think. Okay. And I think a lot of people are talking about this, and my reaction is this is not going to be good.
That's what
It's not going to be good. I feel a little bit insulted as a fan of the original. I'm not a big fan, but I played through one of the Ghostbusters games.
This is a Ghostbuster game?
Yeah, it was on it was on the Xbox 360. It was pretty good. I was
what are you doing?
7 at the time though, so I'm not quite sure if it was, but I liked it. I just feel sort of insulted by this new one, and also, they're changing the gender of the characters, which I don't know why. I feel like maybe they're doing it for feminism or something, but then if you're going to do that, then why have the black character be so stereotypical? I've heard lots of people complaining about that, and in the trailers are awful, which I'm not just saying this completely unfound. The trailers are really bad.
Why?
They're really bad, because just the trailers, Benji, look not very good.
Should I watch one?
No.
Sure, well, let's listeners to hear my first reaction.
No, let's not.
Fine.
But it's not good. Man. But yeah, I don't think the new one's going to be good. But, you know, I hope it's going to be great, and I'm going to love it, because I don't want to go into a movie and watch it and be disappointed. You know, I want to watch a movie, and I want to like a movie. You know?
Yeah, so what else do you mean?
So, I mean, the main theory is, or the main point of this is, like, if you're going to remake the main point of this podcast is that if you're going to remake a movie, there's a couple things you need to do. Is, number one, choose a movie that either had a good premise, or choose a movie that is visually outdated, or choose a movie that you can change the focus of without being insulting to the original. And what you need to do is make sure not to insult the original, and you also need to make sure to do it really good. You know, because what I think the main thing is that whenever you're remaking a film, it's often done for money, not out of art. You know what I'm saying, Benji, right there?
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, we don't really get any. I mean, sometimes the remakes are better than the original. I mean,
like in what?
Like Ocean's 11 is often considered better than the original. The Thing, which we haven't seen either of those, which we probably should. I mean, that's got Kurt Russell, was fantastic. Big Trouble in Little China, such a good film. I mean, it's one of the greatest films of all. I think it's number 9 on my top 10 movies, actually, which it doesn't seem like a movie that should be in it, but I don't care.
Well, look it up.
It is number 9. It replaced, I don't remember what it replaced, but it's a great film. But I mean, sometimes the remakes are better. What happened in these films is that I'm not quite sure what made it better, but I think it's the fact that, like, they took the concept, but they took the basic concept, but they didn't take all of it. You know, which I think is another thing is you want to be different, but not too different. You know, you want to change the focus, but don't change the focus too much, and take a good sort of concept though. That's what you want. It's a really good concept. And so, yeah, I mean, that's how to create a successful remake. So if you are interested in remaking a very successful film, which I don't imagine you'd be listening to our podcast if you were, and if you are, and you're a very successful filmmaker, please
give us all your money.
Contact us, because, yeah, please contact us, and we have a couple of movie ideas we'd like to pitch to you.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I mean, could be an interesting episode, right? Like movie pitches.
No, but then there's still ideas.
I guess you're right, dang it.
We'll
do that after we become famous.
Yeah,
you know.
Become famous. Which we totally will because of how brilliant these ideas are.
Dude, I have a Fushigi on my desk.
Fushigi.
Okay, so yeah, that's been us on remakes, and I like remakes, you know, but they're not that good. I mean, remakes can be good, but I think that would the world be better without remakes, though? That's my question to you, Benji.
I don't know. I mean,
that's a really big question.
Remakes do kind of draw attention to the main goodness of the original movies. I was like, we wouldn't know how good those movies really were.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that watching another movie can really make the original worse. Can it?
It can only make it better. No,
I don't think that, like, by remaking a film you make the original worse, because you can always go back to the original and watch it, right? So I think that the world is better with remakes, but I mean, then again, I wouldn't be able to rid the world of remakes even if I tried, because I'm just a little boy who has no power. So yeah, this has been CCCLXVI. Oh, also, we're going to be uploading The Bounty onto YouTube really soon. Hooray for that.
Upload
the Bounty 2?
The Bounty,
which we'll talk about probably next episode or something, because I totally forgot about that. But
we made that whenever we were on our vacation.
Yeah, we were recently on a vacation, which is why you actually didn't get a podcast last week. Probably should have brought that up at the beginning of the episode.
Yep. But,
oops. So, yeah, we were on vacation last week, which is why we didn't put up an episode last week. And also, the episodes are not going to be weekly anymore. We're just going to put them up whenever we like. So, probably at least every other week. At least 2 a month, probably, but sometimes more.
At least, one a year.
And very rarely less than that. So, yeah, that's that. And this has been CCCLXVI. And remember that whenever playing with the Fushigi, always play on carpets, because if you drop it on a hardwood floor, then it will scratch your Fushigi and it will ruin the illusion.
And the floor.